2018.
India may have started a little late, but I want to assure all of you, we will finish first by rolling out 5G services across the length and breadth of India.
2023 मार्च तक काफ़ी शहरों में और 2024 मार्च तक सारे देश में 5G का फैलाव करेंगे.
We will soon begin the 5G rollout journey. We will leverage our strong presence in rural India.
आज दुनिया भर में भारत में विकसित 5G टेक्नोलॉजी की चर्चा है और बहुत अच्छी संभावना है कि आगामी वर्षों में भारत एक टेलीकॉम टेक्नोलॉजी के लीडर के रूप में इमर्ज होगा.
1 अक्टूबर 2022 ये तारीख इतिहास में दर्ज होने वाली है. आज 130 करोड़ भारतवासियों को 5G के तौर पर एक शानदार उपहार मिल रहा है.
We'll be joining you from the 6th edition of the India Mobile Congress. Now, before the IMC began on Saturday morning, at that time, India was on the cusp of 5G technology. By now, India is now strongly partaking and being a part of that 5G revolution. 5G was inaugurated, was launched on Saturday, and since then, there's been a flurry of activity at the India Mobile Congress. There are a huge number of use cases. There are over 100 startups. There are, in fact, over 7,000 delegates here. There's a lot of industry participation here, and there's a lot of excitement going forward. In fact, taking cue from that excitement, we reached out to the Telecom Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav. He was here, and we asked him what the 5G roadmap for him looks like over the next few months, over the next couple of years, what that roadmap could look like. We also asked him what this capex spend would entail. How much of money does the government estimate the industry spending, and does the industry have the appetite? And finally, we asked him on one mantra that was in fact laid out by the Prime Minister himself, which is affordability of data. As India moves forward with 5G, how affordable a service will it be? These are some of the questions we posed to the Telecom Minister. Let's take a look. There have been a number of reforms. We're in fact waiting for the next wave of reforms, as you pointed out the last time that we spoke to us. In terms of reforms and in terms of making a telecom sector, turning it around into a sunrise sector, do you see them in a way where they're able to make the big capex spends that will now be required? What is the number, if you've estimated, in terms of what this will entail, the rollout?
The telecom sector is today seen as a sunrise industry. The risk associated with the sector, especially from the point of view of so many litigations which were there, that risk is significantly mitigated now. And today the banks see that yes, whatever capex is required for telecom sector, that kind of capex is today available. For the 5G journey, our estimate is about anywhere between 2.5 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore as the total capex over next 2 to 3 years. That will go into setting up new towers, getting new telecom equipment, software, training, quite a different dimensions of telecom.
One final question, sir. On the question of one of the mantras that the Prime Minister has shaped for us, for the industry, is digital affordability. 5G services, do you think that affordability will be continued by the sector? India is already the most affordable in terms of data. Do you think that will continue with 5G as well?
Yes, I think so. Already Indian telecom industry has provided services which are among the most affordable in the world, and I think that trend is going to continue.
Well, there you have it, the Telecom Minister telling us on CNBC-TV18 that he expects in the next 18 to 24 months, as a part of 5G rollout, the industry to have a capex of 5G of 2.5 to 3 lakh crore rupees. Again, massive numbers these. But in fact, as a part of this rollout journey, important also to focus on the telecom equipment suppliers, companies such as Ericsson, right behind me, and Nokia. We in fact spoke to Mr. Nitin Bansal of Ericsson and Sanjay Malik of Nokia. They clearly pointed out that they're quite bullish on the telecom market, India's telecom market, given these huge capex spends. They in fact also pointed out that they're confident given the excitement of 5G in the country, there will be a fast uptick, there will be fast adoption with users willing to migrate and paying that little premium to migrate all the way from 4G to 5G. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Actually, for us, the journey began a couple of months ago because, this was expected. And for us as a technology provider, it is important for us to have the right products at the right time, at the right cost point, right? Because at the end of the day, what matters to the telecom service providers or our partners that we work with is the total cost of ownership and what is the cost for production of 1 gigabyte, right? So we have been working extensively in the last months looking at what products would be needed for India, looking at reducing the weight, the size, and increasing the capabilities. So that's what we have been engaged in. And I'm very happy that we got the right products for the Indian market at the right time. So next 18 to 24 months will be the follow the lead that our telecom service providers give us in terms of deployment and make sure that we deliver as fast as we can with the best performance and quality.
Well, the ministers of the opinion that kind of looking at big capex spends somewhere north of 2.5 to 3 lakh crore rupees. Does that give you more strength about how the Indian market is poised, the telecom market especially, going forward as far as Ericsson?
No, for sure. I mean, India is a very important market for Ericsson, and that's why we need to be here. And we need to be here with the right products and solutions and technology. So we are really optimistic and hope that, we can grow in India.
A recent report suggests that there's a big appetite in the Indian market. What is your reading of that?
No, I mean, I follow the report, right? The report has been done based on extensive survey that we have done with the consumers of India, right? And they are saying that they're eagerly waiting, and they are also saying that we are willing to pay a premium. So we had said this a couple of years ago as well when we did the first one. Now the projections are increasing, right? So I believe that looks good. Indians are waiting for 5G services to be rolled out, and they are willing to adopt it and also willing to pay a premium.
Initial use case for 5G would be still mobile broadband and explosion of that, and the fixed wireless access, which is again because of the vast country, because of the demographics. I think that would be a good use case for India. So that would be the starting point. But otherwise, I mean, we have to have that belief in the innovation which India has, right? With all the young population, with Startup India, with so many use cases. And if you look at around, all these people are smaller companies which have come forward to provide that use cases. When we started 4G, there was a similar skepticism that whether the 4G will have enough use cases and whether the investment would be worth it or not. And we have seen the results, right? Whatever data you give or whatever capacity you give to the consumers, they are consuming it. So we in Bangalore, we have been nurturing some of the maybe software companies, smaller companies, to come out with these use cases which are India specific, and I'm sure that it will happen.
Many analysts point out that the tariffs could increase and that there could be a premium that the 5G services would command. Do you see that appetite on the ground where users will be eager to migrate from 4G to 5G and that there will be that appetite to adopt this new technology?
No, I think I will leave the tariff question to the operators. I don't play any role in that. But overall, I would say from appetite perception, consumption perspective, I still go with whatever has happened over the last 5 years. That the consumptions will go up and the desire for the consumers to move from 4G to 5G will definitely be there.
Fiber, it's at the heart of all things 5G. That's what Ankit Agarwal of Sterlite Technologies told us. Fiber is needed to connect towers, all the telecom towers we're talking about. It's needed to connect all the villages, all the homes. And that is something that Ankit Agarwal believes will contribute strongly towards a demand for optic fiber going forward. However, he's also quick to point out that this journey going forward, as far as fiber is concerned and as far as 5G rollout is concerned, is not without its fair share of challenges. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
What we actually believe is that for India to leapfrog to really high quality 5G, by that I mean, instead of 20 Mbps on our phones on 4G, can we go to 70, 80 Mbps or even 100 Mbps on 5G? And instead of 50 milliseconds today, can we go to maybe 5 to 10 milliseconds, right? That's the quality of network we believe India deserves. To make that happen, I think we have to go from about 20 million fiber kilometers per year today in India to at least 3 times of that, to about 60 million fiber kilometers per year. I think that's extremely important. The key out there will be to actually deploy this network in India. And we think right away through the back of programs like Gati Shakti, I think that's going to be extremely important. I think there's no lack of capital, there's no lack of intent. It's coming down to execution on the ground. What we also have to remember is that it's a very local subject, right? Very often there are challenges on the ground. There's also sometimes challenges between ministries, right? You might have a rail crossing, you might have a forest crossing. So it's very often that these ministries now need to speak together. All of that I think will happen very positively for the first time because of a platform like Gati Shakti. So I think that's one which is very important. The second part to also remember, it will require a huge amount of training of manpower who are skilled in deployment, not only on the wireless side, but equally on the wired side. So we, for example, have set up a target of training 1 lakh people in the next few years on specific fiber deployment skills. So I think that's something that is the key. And I think with all of this falling in place, we are very, very positive.
PLI schemes have been praised a lot in the recent times. As far as the scheme on IT hardware is concerned, how much is the industry looking forward to it? As far as your company is concerned particularly, how do you look at 5G as a prospective growth opportunity?
PLI scheme is quite popular. It has now been augmented by DLI also, where design link incentives are being given. We have also applied for DLI, so I'm sure government would come out with the implementation of scheme very soon. As far as our company is concerned, we are focusing quite a lot on design of equipment indigenously, manufacture of them indigenously, and not only to sell them in India but sell it worldwide. So with the kind of demand opportunity you have in India and abroad on 5G equipment and equipment which complement 5G like Wi-Fi access points, high throughput access point which are launched today, or fiber optic cables or switches, routers, all of them have got huge demand opportunity. So we see a good prospect for the company in future.
Well, there you have it, the entire spectrum, pun intended, of business leaders from across the telecom industry. But the challenge may have only just begun. The government feels that it's done its fair share. It's done its fair share of reforms, its fair share of impetus to the industry, and that it's time now for the companies, for the sector, for the industry to stand and deliver. Well, India may have taken that big leap with the inauguration, with the launch of 5G on October 1st. But the question that we're asking is, what exactly is the application of 5G? What does it entail? What does it mean for you? Does it merely mean higher data speeds and a better quality video? The answer is a resounding no. Over the last 3 days, we've been speaking to industry leaders, product designers, design engineers, and what they tell us is that one can only be limited. The 5G application can be limited only by one's own imagination and creativity. In fact, over the last 3 days, we've been looking at various use cases of 5G, and we've learned that some of them may just blow your mind. We're at the India Mobile Congress. We're exploring what the use cases of 5G could look like. Here's one interesting use case. This apparatus, essentially what it does is that, assuming I'm here, a maintenance worker working with a telecom company, undertaking maintenance work of a telecom tower, I need my hands to be free. I'm sitting atop a 300 feet telecom tower. Now, to carry out the work, this is the apparatus that will make life easier for me, and this is an example of a use case. How would it make free? Well, I'm wearing this apparatus. It has this miniature screen. It allows me to, in fact, read the standard operating procedure, keeping my hands free, also allowing me the opportunity of connecting with an expert should I require. In fact, just to explain that, it'll be a lot better if I'm able to show this on screen. I'll request my camera person. That's the screen there. It's painting out the SOP for me. Next step. Step next. There you have it. That's the next step that's being showcased to me. Step next. So here it is. In fact, if I can continue with this apparatus as well, if I were to say perhaps need help of a remote expert sitting in a different city altogether, I could then go ahead and call expert. There you have it. It begins to call an expert. And not just that, here's another interesting feature. Cancel. Navigate home. There you have it, the home screen. And here, what I will use now is use the remote camera to get the assistance of a remotely placed expert. My camera. There you have it on my camera. You can see the visuals of the camera person there. He's trying to capture the video. Of course, the situation would be different if I was a telecom engineer. That would give us a visual sense of the situation that's at hand. And then subsequently, I can use that to get some assistance from the remotely placed experts. So an interesting use case this, but what experts tell us is that this is merely one amongst very many use cases that perhaps we're likely to see in the days to come. We have before us a very interesting example. This is, of course, one of the more popular examples of how 5G technology can be deployed. It's an immersive experience. What it does, of course, is that for me, sitting in Delhi, I'm sitting at Pragati Maidan in the national capital, I can experience the Taj Mahal, which is a good 200 kilometers away. I'm wearing the virtual reality device. It helps teleport me to the location of my choice, which in this case happens to be the Taj Mahal. I have in my right hand a device which allows me to teleport within the campus itself. So you can see what I can see in these virtual glasses right before me. In fact, the Taj Mahal, if you can see, the arrow is pointing right in front of that, and that's where I will teleport next. Here's one click. There you have it. We're standing right in front of the Taj Mahal. You can get the entire sense of the expanse here, and this is all being done virtually here. I'm not there in Agra. I'm still here in the national capital. I'm being told I can jump right up top to get a bird's eye view. There you have it. And I can see these in my virtual glasses as clear as daylight. This is the view that can be enabled by virtual reality. Like I said, this is one of the more popular applications that we see, and it allows for this immersive experience. And this, of course, is a big, big takeaway here in terms of deployment of 5G technology. So again, another brilliant use case as far as 5G technology is concerned.
Tired of ceaseless visits to shopping marts and scouting for healthcare services? This is a one-stop solution for consumers while sitting in the comforts of their houses, where they can avail use of this mixed reality solution, GeoGlass live streaming, which currently is displaying various poses of yoga which a user can possibly access while wearing VR glasses and engaging in various yoga poses.
So this is GeoGlass. The GeoGlass is the homegrown AR and VR product and ecosystem of Geo. Here we are bringing together the power of 5G and XR to showcase how your gaming, learning, productivity, shopping can be elevated in an AR and VR format. So what GeoGlass essentially does is that it will help you watch your favorite movies, your TV shows, even Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, on a 100-inch virtual screen with spatial audio. So it makes you feel as if you're sitting in a personal home at the comfort of your sofa and watching your favorite entertainment as a personal experience. And besides that, I would also like to showcase some of our use cases. So I do like a quick learning experiment with you in chemistry. So this is a chemistry lab in AR. What this will help you with is that you can conduct science experiments without being in a hazardous or a dangerous environment. So let's move over to the screen and I'll show you how we do like a simple chemistry experiment. So there is water. With water, I am going to add sodium. See, if I add about 3.5 grams of sodium to this water, it's going to burst. But if I was in an actual chemistry lab, then I would probably get like skin rashes by now if like these chemicals were coming in contact with my skin. So these are some of the key benefits that you can see when you start using GeoGlass with some of the key applications that we also have.
Yet another tangible benefit enabled by 5G technology is GeoEducation, which uses augmented reality to teach students about various aspects from different subjects. The same uses the mobile app to open up a webcast on the screen of a television and can easily be used to teach students about various aspects pertaining to science, technology, and various school subjects. This application, in all likelihood, is going to help not just students studying in physical classes, but is also possibly going to allow spread of teaching to even remote areas and can allow better access to teaching aids for children who are not studying in technology-enabled schools.
what we're looking at essentially, it looks like I'm sitting at the console of a PlayStation, but trust me, this is a PlayStation is not nearly as advanced as the piece of technology that I'm sitting in, that I'm currently placed in. What you're looking at essentially is a vehicle that I will be driving using 5G technology. Now, how does this work? I'm sitting in the national capital, but what's interesting is that the vehicle that I will be driving is not situated anywhere near me. It's not situated in Pragati Maidan. It's not even in Delhi. It's not even in the country. In fact, it's not even on the same continent. I'll be driving a vehicle all the way in a suburb of Stockholm in Sweden. That's what 5G technology enables. That's what, in fact, I'll be showing you in moments from now. In fact, I'll ask my camera person to focus on the screen. Now, there are two screens up top. You can see there the black vehicle. That's what I'll be driving. It's about 1 meter long. That's the length of the vehicle. And here at the bottom is the visual that I get as a driver of this vehicle. And it's all happening visually. In fact, let me demonstrate that. So this is the vehicle being driven. I'm being told we have to handle this slightly cautiously. This is a new experience even for me. And here, as you can see, using 5G technology, it allows me complete control of the vehicle at hand. There is absolutely little to no latency, allowing me consistent control over the vehicle without there being any lag, which is critical while handling such autonomous vehicles. What I'm also being told is that the applications can be quite widespread. Mining, that is one key area that such technology can be deployed in. For mining areas which cannot be accessed through human means, such a technology will facilitate excavation from areas which are not deemed safe for humans. Also, for law enforcement agencies, issues concerning such as bomb disposal. These are some of the issues where such technology, where a vehicle can be handled remotely, can be widely used. And this, of course, is just the beginning of such a technology. What I'm being told is that one can be creative with this and one can be limited only by one's own imagination as far as deployment of this technology is concerned. So there you have it, me sitting in Pragati Maidan National Capital, driving a vehicle all the way in Sweden.